What is good, YouTube? It is your boy, Mr. Tag, and we're here with something a little bit different. I'm going to be calling this my local deck series. Right, just to show you guys what decks I took to locals and how we did. So this one, as you can probably guess by the title, it is Invoked Frogs. We went X1, so 3 wins, 1 loss. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Decks we beat Salads, we beat August Machina, however you pronounce that M word, and it was just another jank deck. It was battle trap oriented, and we kind of just negated our way out of there. So without any further ado, let's get on with the deck. We'll start with the main deck first. We'll start, of course, with the Frog engine. So we've got 3 swap Frog. Obviously, he's a great starter. He can send another Frog to the graveyard, or an Aqua monster, I should say. Generally, your target's going to be Ronin Totem. We also have 3 Dupe Frog. So, of course, either you send this if you already have Ronin Totem in the grave, or he's also what you summon off for Totally Awesome's effect as your Negator. And, of course, you run 2 Ronin Totems as well. I was actually disappointed. I really feel like I should have run 3 because I feel like I wasn't running enough monsters in this deck, which is what happens when you're running a trap deck. It only really came up in 1 matchup against another Salad player. He was actually a really good Salad player. I actually managed to negate a lot of his things, but then I just didn't have a monster to capitalize with. So that kind of sucked, and then he just eventually out-resourced me and beat me. So that's it for the Frogs. Goodbye, Froggy boys. And of course, with any invoked deck, you do need your 3 copies of Alistair. Big old playmaker here. He allows us to go into Mechaba, and we also went into Purgatrio 1 game, and also went into Cocytus 1 game. So, yeah, obviously you want 3 of him. I don't think much really else to say about Alistair. You guys know how good Alistair is. He is amazing. And then we got for hand traps, we only ran 3 Effect Veiler. 2, 3. He's our target for Mechaba as well. If we're going first, which we did every single time, because we always won the dice roll. So having Effect Veiler was really nice. We could either pitch him for Mechaba or hold on to him for turn 2. Or your opponent's turn. It was really good. So that's it for the monsters. Then obviously we're running Invoked, so we're running 3 Invocation. Not really much else to say. You search with Alistair or you can hard draw it. As a long-running joke goes, if someone negates Alistair, they generally have Invocation ready to go anyway, so negating it was pointless. But funnily enough, I never had Invocation in my hand when I summoned Alistair, so that was kind of funny. So, that one. We're only running, it's maybe controversial, 2 copies of Magical Meltdown. Looking at my deck now, I kind of wish I ran 3, because 1 card I included, I initially misread how it worked. So when I actually drew it 1 game, I couldn't use it. It was actually quite useless, so I could have ran 3 Meltdown, but chose to run 2, but also running a Terraforming, mainly as bait. We can, if you do the Terraforming, which I actually never drew. I never drew Terraforming, so it never came up, but the idea was it was mainly going to be bait for Meltdown. People will usually stop that, and then you can go into plays. That's it for that. And we got a couple of one-ofs. Foolish. Obviously, you send either Ronin Totem most of the time, or Veiler if you need a target for Alistair to make Mechaba. Okay, came up once. It actually worked really well. And, that's it. Oh, Terraforming was a 1-for-1. I mean, one-of. Speaking of one-ofs, wait, 1-for-1. Yeah, this sucked. I initially misread it as discard a card to summon a level 1 monster, which I thought, okay, go into Effect Veiler, that'd be really good. No, you have to discard a monster to summon a monster, and this deck is really light on monsters, so 1-for-1 was kind of bad. One time I did draw it, I couldn't resolve it, and I got wiped out. That was against a Salad player that beat me. Alright, so for traps. So we're running a lot of traps, we're running Frogs. So we got 3 Trap Trick. Pretty much, if you're running a trap deck, you've got to run Trap Trick. You've got to run it at 3. It is an amazing card. You can search any normal trap, which most of these traps are. And yeah, I pretty much do this every game and manage to resolve it. And then go into further plays or stop my opponent's plays, which was really nice. Got 3 Trap Trick. 3 Canadia. Frogs. Canadia's great. Canadia can stop link plays. I realized though I misplayed against the good Salad player, and I could have stopped like his entire turn by Canadiaing his normal summon, but I didn't. I thought, oh wait, and then yeah, I got kind of ran over. But Canadia is actually really good. Not as good as it was back when links were, Master Rule 4, but still good to have. 2 Dino Mischief. Great card, but unfortunately in a trap-heavy deck, you sometimes don't have a card to discard for it. So only running it at 2. Obviously, running it at 2 means you still search it by Trap Trick. It's still searchable, so that was always good. I did resolve this a few times. Worked really well. For back row removal, Olenoids, which was really good against Salad players, being able to knock out their back row, and against the person who's playing Battle Traps as well. Then obviously, again, you can search it with Trap Trick, and it becomes obviously a Paleozoic when you activate a trap card. Then you can go into big old Frog Boy, or just set up a wall for your opponent to get through. I ran 2 Lost Wind. I actually had a pure Frog deck before when Toad was at 3 during Master Rule 4, and I ran 3 Lost Wind, and I found it to be a brick. And now I was wishing I had 3 Lost Wind. I did resolve this a few times. It was really good in the Orcus, against the Orcus player. Managed to stop him from comboing off a bit too much, and that was really good. It came in handy, but sometimes it just didn't work out. And 2 Compulse. You had to bounce a card back to the hand or extra deck, depending on the matchup, is always really nice. I resolved it once, and I'm pretty sure in that match I got the win for resolving it. Other times I just didn't see it, but that's okay. It's always a really good card to have. And then we're running 2 Judgement and 2 Strike. Against both Salad players, I'm pretty sure it was game 1 against both of them as well. I resolved both my strikes, or at least both my strikes, and then against the other player I also resolved my Judgement. The only problem with that was the next turn in both games I got run over because I couldn't capitalize on it. But obviously Solemn Strike's always a really good solid card. Judgement, I reserve Judgement on. Probably could have just played 3 Strike, but again, it's always nice to be able to negate pretty much anything. But life point cost can be pretty steep if there's no follow-up players. So that's it for the main decks. Now we'll go into our extra deck. Make sure that's all there. All right, we'll start with the fusions. So invoke cards. So we've got Kaliga, Purgatrio, Cocytus, and 2 Mechaba. So I actually initially forgot Kaliga was in my deck, and one game I had 2 Alistairs in hand, and I thought, oh, I can't make anything. I could have made Kaliga to help myself out a bit, but I didn't. When I resolved Purgatrio in the Orcus matchup, the guy, it was game 2 or 3. I think it was only game, I think we went into game 2. And yeah, he scooped, because I also had Mechaba on board. I resolved Cocytus against the person playing the Battle Trap deck. He found it really hard to get over. Actually, I don't think he got over. I think I won that after I resolved it. And obviously 2 Mechaba, because we don't want to, if your opponent manages to get through it, and then you don't want to just run 1-1, you want to run 2. So, and then obviously you can target it again. You can use it as invocation material when it's in the graveyard. But Mechaba is always nice, and then you can always get the Alistair back after invocation, so you've always got at least a monster negate on field. And the banish is really good. Being able to banish stuff, as opposed to just destroying it, is awesome. Alright, this one's going to be interesting because you're going to be like, how do you make this card? This is really weird, but it'll make sense when we get to the side deck. I ran Rainbow Neos. So as you'll see in my side deck, I was running really weird choices. It's only a locals. I'm not going to be playing for like, oh, we've got to play hard. We've got to play, the best side deck cards you can. But basically, before you guess my side deck, I was running Neos, Rainbow Dragon, and 3 Neos Fusion. But I didn't want to run Rainbow Neos in my extra as well. So I'm in my side. So I was running in my extra, and I didn't feel like I had missed out on running any other card in its place. So that was really funny. Never got to resolve it though, so that was annoying. For Exceeds, totally awesome, obviously. I missed this card being at 3, but I can see why it would be a problem at 3. I think I resolved Toad pretty much every game except against the Salad player that beat me. I managed to summon it, and then I would negate stuff and set up a board and get the plays going. Also had 2 Paleozoic Exceeds, which never came up. Because either generally if I resolved Toad, I was going to win, so I didn't really need to worry about any other plays. But obviously you got to run Toad. Toad's amazing. And stealing cards and stuff, it's so fun. Even in a COVID-19 environment, it's not the best thing to be touching other people's cards. But, All right, links. So we've got Phoenix, Cerberus. I never resolved it. I never summoned them, never resolved them, but it was fine. It's always nice to know we can either pop some back row or pop a special summon monster. But yeah, I never ever summoned them, but I like to have them in my extra, just in case. Easy cards to make. I also have a Me Star Boy, which I summoned once, I believe, just to get the extra boost. But again, it wasn't really necessary. I didn't really have to. And then I've got some Link 4s. Got a Boral Load Dragon, Boral Sword Dragon, and Appaloosa. I never summoned the Borrello Dragon, but I did summon Boral Sword and Appaloosa. In the game I summoned Appaloosa, I won that one. With Boral Swords, I won that one as well. So obviously very good additions to a deck. I think they just work in any deck, but having the extra negates with Appaloosa was always nice. We don't have to worry about, you know, just Toad doing it or Mechaba doing it. Pretty sure on one board I had Toad. I only had Toad and Appaloosa. I didn't have Toad, Appaloosa, and Mechaba because that'd be overkill. But yeah, that was really good. Really, really good. All right, extra deck. I mean, extra deck, side deck. So weird. All right, so first the hand traps. So we have 3 Droll, 3 Nibiru. Obviously, when I was facing the Salad players, I would side in Nibiru game 2. I think I started in Droll at one point, but I never got to resolve it, never saw it. That's okay. But Nibiru, especially in this format, is really, really good. If I didn't have Effect Veiler, I'd probably main deck it as my Mechaba target, but that's all right. It's all good. I never resolved Nibiru on this locals though, and Droll as well. All right, so like I said, Neos Fusion package, a Rainbow Dragon, a Neos, and 3 Neos Fusion. Again, with Rainbow Dragon and Neos both being light, if I hard drew them, which I never did, because I only sided them in once anyway, at least they'd be Alistair targets with Mechaba. And Neos Fusion, obviously, you know, you do the Neos, you send Neos and Rainbow Dragon, you summon Rainbow Neos, you got a 4500 beta which can wipe either their monsters, their spells and traps, or shuffle all their graveyard back into the deck. Which is always nice, but never resolved it. Thought it'd be pretty funny. So we've got there. We've got another spell card, Raigeki. Just, you know, for that board wipe, if it ever needed it. We never needed it. So that was pretty unimpactful. And 3 Impermanence. I resolved this game 2 against the Orcus player, and that really helped me get the win. It stopped him from comboing off. But I didn't main deck it. And the reason for that is I feel like trap heavy deck, we're going first. We've got better effect negate, like trap negate, trap cards which negate effect cards. And, you know, we're going to always have cards on the field and stuff. So having Impermanence in the main deck when we're always going to be going first is pointless. But going second, especially in game 2, obviously players are going to be making me go second. So you can side out a few of the traps, put Impermanence in, you can put like Neos Fusion in at 3, put Neos and thing back in there, Nibiru, and then you're set. So yeah, but Impermanence, yeah, did actually really work for me, and that was really good. All right, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed my little deck profile there, and I hope you guys will, you know, like, share, and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Otherwise, yeah, I'll be making a new deck next week. Probably something with the, what do you call them, ABCs, maybe? We'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Bye!